medical assistant for this?
Yes.
Good.
Consent is key.
Consent is key. I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to assume.
We're still in love month, so we're always going to push back to consent is key.
Consent is key for everything. Everybody, welcome back. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Angie. It's nice to see you.
Yes, welcome back. And today, we're going to talk about cord cutting spell.
Before we do that, we're going to talk about toxic love.
That's true.
We talked about the happy love.
Yes.
Now, as in all things, there is a flip side to that coin. Every single person on the planet has dealt with toxic love.
Yes. Toxic love.
From a parent.
Yes.
Toxic love
from
a partner.
Sibling, a partner, the people around us. Toxic love can make you feel like you are lower than low. Toxic love can make you feel like you are
higher than high.
Yes.
But it's like a drug high. It's a false high. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stay there. And like when you're quitting drugs, you go through that withdrawal and you get sick energetically. Or
that thought of
heart
maybe
sick.
They weren't that bad. They really weren't that bad. There was some good times. They really weren't that bad.
And all of your friends are like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you smoking crack? You're smoking crack. Don't do it. Don't do it." And you go, "Yeah, I'm just thinking about it," and then you do it.
And I just miss them.
You can miss them
without their hands on your throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toxicity is real.
Yeah, it's very real. And it hurts. And it's deadly.
For us, that line is toxicity is never acceptable. And you are worthy of so much more.
You really are.
Toxic love is not to be tolerated because it doesn't align with your highest good. Forgive yourself for whatever you're trying to punish. Forgive yourself. Self-love spell, not a cure-all, but it is a place to start focusing that energy. Another way to focus that energy is to identify where in your life you're feeling those toxic vibrations, that toxic sludge. Like a game of telephone, right?
Right.
We've got a little tiny bit of string here. Grab the other string. This is a visual representation. I can certainly hear you. A visual representation of an energetic cord, right? Mm-hmm. So the cord that binds Jonathan and I is balanced. He is that healthy masculine and that healthy feminine. Mm-hmm. I am a healthy masculine and healthy feminine. Not in all things. Let's be real.
Yeah, no one's perfect. I mean, it's straight up. Let's be.
When you get out of balance, either way,
yes,
it's not healthy for you. But the connection between us is healthy because we communicate.
Yes.
We take time to respect one another's boundaries.
Now, respecting boundaries and communicating is very important. And there's also space to understand that sometimes you want to look at someone and go, "No, fuck that shit." Because in that moment, that's what you're feeling. And that's perfectly valid in that moment to say, "Fuck that shit." The key is to come back later and explain why you needed to say, in a healthy communicator, why I needed to say, "Fuck that shit." And it may be as simple as, "This is a trigger for me. I cannot do this right now."
Or "I can't do this ever."
Yeah. And that's perfectly valid.
Triggers can be healthy. Triggers are supposed to be healthy. Triggers are supposed to be like that twinge when you move your broken arm. Hey, motherfucker, that fucking hurts. Pain's there for a reason. Any doctor will tell you if it's hurting, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Energetic pain is no different. Mm-hmm. If it's like, "Oh, motherfucker, that hurts," it's broken.
Yeah.
Pay attention to it.
Yeah.
It's something that needs to be healed. If you heal it without taking steps, it's like letting a broken arm heal naturally. The arm's probably still going to be on your body, but it's not going to work right.
Right. And it may have to get rebroken at some point, if it's possible, in order for you to even regain your use of that in that aspect. And sometimes it will show up like, I choose the same type of partner over and over and over again, and I always end up miserable. If you felt caught out by that, don't worry, I did too.
I said it because it was me. It used to be me. I choose the same type of abuse for a lot of reasons I chose.
Yeah.
I stopped choosing. that for myself. Every single one of us has the ability, because we are divine and sovereign, to stop making that choice. Identifying that you are making that choice is the first step. Taking a look
that's really hard to do at times. It's really hard to go, oh my God, to step back, and that level of self-reflection, to step back and go, oh my shit. God, I am the one that continues to do this. No, we're not saying that abusive partners aren't, I'm using abusive partners as just because that's the first thing that came to mind. Okay?
It's February, it's love month, we're talking about love.
Right, okay.
Toxic cycles exist everywhere.
Yes.
They have the ability to exist everywhere.
Yes.
How we fix ourselves is by identifying where we're engaging in toxic cycles and figuring out how to stop. One of the ways to stop, my partner's going to teach you.
Right. So we're going to work on a cord cutting spell. Right? I know, right? And I don't normally do spells. So.
Cord cutting, we're talking about the energetic cords between you and a thing, a person, a place. They're all over your body.
Right.
Every time you interact with something, if you catch a grocery store clerk's eye, there's a tiny little cord that's just there.
Then it'll be superficial, kind of like a little bit of a spider web, like floof.
Energetic exchange.
Yeah.
But unless you're cutting them on a regular basis,
you'll get overwhelmed with them.
How many times have you looked at the convenience store clerk and just been like, I hope you're having a good day? That's an energetic cord. Every time you pass someone and you're like, oh, fuck, that dude looks sad.
Yeah, that's an energetic cord.
If you're not cutting them, you have a whole lot of energetic cords hanging out and you look like Cousin It. There's a whole person under those cords. And the way that energetic cords work is energy comes from both sides.
Yes.
So without intending to, you have created a link between you and grocery store person
who he can continue to
pull from you or push. Energy goes both ways. It doesn't die.
It's there. Energy is a state.
Like a hose, right? The water can go either way. You can energetically cord cut. At the end of the day, we've talked about that in an earlier video about shielding and warding. You can just simply imagine running a machete over your body or a razor, shaving it off like it's Cousin It's hair. Use a dog razor for all that I care.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Machete, fire, water, earth, air, whatever it takes for you in that energetic moment to cut cords, you can do that. But some cords are a little thicker.
Exactly.
Some cords are deeper.
Yes.
And the energetic exchange is not simple. That's where you find yourself missing your toxic ex, missing a toxic parent or family member, missing the abuse. When you find yourself thinking of them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's probably due to one of these.
Yep.
How do you stop it?
Well, we can show you a cord cutting spell. How to do this visually to show you how to work on doing it energetically. As with everything, intention is key. Consent is also key, but in this aspect,
you don't need their consent to cut cords.
You don't need their consent to, after you've said goodbye, you've walked away, you do not need their consent to rid yourself of their energy. You do not.
You have an animal right to protect yourself.
One's autonomy is
autonomy.
That word.
Autonomy.
I knew what I was trying to say. Dang it! It just came.
It went there.
It went there.
Partnerships.
Right, so, string, right? String.
Candles. Now, for the purposes of breaking this down to a visual approach, I chose blue and pink. I know, no one's blue, no one's pink, but let's say that in this case, Jonathan's favorite color is pink. And blue always reminds me of the blue sky. The colors are personal. They're not, they don't have to be green because that person's eyes are green, or black because that's the way that connection makes me feel.
Right. It's just
whatever works for you.
Right.
Now, because I know you're about to walk through this spell,
yes,
I need you to identify something that we can cord cut safely. Do you have one?
Yes.
Okay. You care to share it with the class?
No, but I will. So I will cord cut one of the strings I have to an ex-step parent of mine.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it's normally for partners, but there's also all kinds of cords that need to be cut, especially parental, because a lot of us suffer from parental issues, right? Yeah, if you felt called out by that, raise your hand. Okay. All right. So, it's a personal one.
2 candles.
2 candles.
Whatever color resonates for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can also use cord cutting for a situation. Yes. If you feel like the situations are tied together, you can cut them apart.
Yes.
Show us.
All right. Now, there are 2 schools of thought on this, and this is really your personal opinion as far as I'm aware of for this. Some people will do initials. Initial of yourself, initial the other person. It's really a personal belief for that.
You can do sigils.
Sigils, yes.
Like a symbol that reminds you of a person. Let's say you met at a Circle K.
Right, so it'd be K.
Use a little pin.
Yep.
And inscribe a circle and a K.
So for me, I will attempt to do a J. Y'all don't make fun of my handwriting because I cannot do that.
It's okay.
It's a J. Yes.
All right. Are you ready for that one to be set, or are you going to tie them together before I attach them to the?
I need to tie them together beforehand because, otherwise, I will burn the hell out of myself. All right, and then this one, I'm going to put a W in there if I can carve it.
You can do it.
Close enough.
Okay.
Because their name was William, and I can say that because there are so many Williams running around that it's just one of those things. Okay. All right.
What does that energetic cord look like? What should you be focusing on when you have those candles in your hand to identify them as a person?
Honestly, for me, I focus on what they felt like to me. And I know that is such an odd turn of phrase. It can be something that triggers a specific memory, a specific moment, a smell, whatever. The first thing that pops in your head when you think of that person and you go there, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Push it into that candle.
I push it into that candle.
Identify that candle as that energy or that moment. Create a link. And then the link to yourself. For you, what's your personal sigil? What reminds you of you? What stands for you? What does that look like to you? So you take each candle in turn and you kind of, like when you had a favorite doll as a kid, your doll had a personality that you put on there. And so that doll was real to you. It had real thoughts and emotions. Mm-hmm. It's no different than you making a poppet. We'll talk about poppets later.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun one.
It is. It is. Other people call poppets voodoo dolls or Russian nesting dolls are poppets. Lots of different. Poppets are anything that can or is meant to resemble a living being without being the living being. It's like an energetic copy.
Fair enough. All right. Once you do that.
Okay. Hang on.
Yes.
One moment for muggle stuff. When you're playing with fire, in your practices, in your real life, in any type of life, always, 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 always be safe. Got a cup of water?
She's got the water.
We have a plate because we're working on a wood table.
Right. And so, of course, safety first. We want to make sure that anything, we have something in place to put just in case.
Simple pro tip, heat the bottom of the candle just for a moment to make it stick.
See, she's got a lovely Bic lighter. I'm used to the long stick lighter, so I don't burn my fingers. It's just one of those things. I'm lazy, okay?
So, melting just enough.
Well, she melted a lot off me. She's trying to help me lose some weight. That's
to make it stick. Shit. All right.
It's shit.
Now,
All right.
is that the shape of the energetic cord for you that ties you together?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to do anything else before you go on?
I normally don't.
Okay.
But if you feel like you need to do more to it, what is something else you could do to it?
Something else you could do is if it's associated with a memory. Let's say you guys had one really fucking heinous Christmas together. You could use a scent that reminds you of Christmas and burn incense next to it so that the air is scented with that memory. If it's a lover and he or she wore a certain type of cologne, always smelled like Dracarno. You could do anything.
Or Chanel No. 5. Or they always smelled this weird smell of
Brute.
I was going to say Tide the detergent mixed with the smell of a gym mat. It's weird. It's what it was.
Oh, that doesn't smell good in my head.
It does not smell good.
You can use scent to draw in the element of air.
Yes.
You can use sand to create a poppet style situation, a poppet style location. This issue happened at the beach. I met this person at the beach. We got married at the beach. Throw some sand on there. They're an earth element. We always had houseplants in the house.
So that would be one of the things. Water. I will say that for me, this energetic tie with the string around it and everything like that, this cord actually has to do with my birthday. So the year that I turned 10, I was a bad kid apparently. I know, go figure, right? And we didn't celebrate.
There's any such thing as a bad kid, and you certainly weren't.
We didn't celebrate my birthday that year. Yeah. So we had the lovely, fun, overhanging cords that help represent how long that is stretched out over through the years and everything like that. So with that being
when it
said,
feels right. When it feels like, oh shit, I nailed it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now what do? I'm gonna light because
Yes.
Jonathan struggles
With
lighters, and I'm a resident smoker. But it is his cord to cut, so I can't do this for you. What I'll do is I become the flame. Use my hand.
Because I want him to light first. Because he was the adult in the situation, not me.
And the cord?
Oh, see, now I didn't know if y'all... Now there are several rules of thought with this too, because different people will actually wait, depending upon how much time you have, until it gets down. The flame itself at the top of the candle gets down to the cord before it starts burning it. And various things like that. This one is burning fast. How about that?
It's because it's a shitty cord.
Well, I mean, the situation in itself was shitty.
No, the cord itself is nice, but it's a shitty cord. It's ready to be burnt.
Yeah.
So you can't see from the back. The back half of the circle, careful, has already split. That cord is half cut.
Ooh, I'm out.
Jonathan's already disengaged from the situation.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of flame right there. Don't worry if it goes out.
Yeah, it's okay.
If your cord stays completely 100% like unbreakable, sometimes that would be an indication that there's a karmic connection that you need to do a little bit of work on. Did you learn the lesson yet? That's funny. Do you see that it has lit the inside of your candle and it's going from inside out? It's getting rid of the part that resembles that person.
Fire.
And then,
as you can tell, we are...
The other person has not changed in this situation.
No, not at all.
But if you see, my sweetheart friend looks nothing like that person.
Not anymore.
The cord is cut, but I still see the wax touching. I wonder what that means. What do your guides tell you? Do you still have contact with that person?
Not in the traditional sense. This person is my sibling's biological father. One of my siblings actually lives in the same apartment as I do up here. Last time I saw this person was earlier this year in August, and that would have been right around when he came up for a visit, because my brother has kids and I have nieces. I have a niece. God willing, I'll have more. I don't know. A little pressure there. No pressure. Not really. It's y'all's choices. Pressure. But that person still has a powerful hold in a lot of aspects of my life because of how long they were my step-parent for my formative years. My mom married them when I was 4 and divorced them when I was 16. So that is a lot of formative years. Mm-hmm. I find myself at times still sounding like him when I'm parenting my own children, even though I do not want to.
God, don't we all?
Yeah.
Tells us where to work.
Yeah. 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 It really does. I don't like it. My guides tell for me.
Mm-hmm. You're growing faster than he is.
Yeah. It's okay to break a little. No one's ever truly broken. A broken crayon still colors. I can still color. I won't feel the same or look the same as other crayons, but I'm still me. I'm still the shade I'm supposed to be.
I like that about you. Your acceptance of self.
Yes.
It's one of the things I admire the most about him.
That took a lot of years. A lot of drinking. A lot of therapy. Some other things too.
Drinking, therapy.
Surgery. Different things like that, which will be a discussion we'll have later in the year.
It's a good story.
Great story. Great story.
Fire isn't fast.
No.
So give yourself time to
feel it.
Feel this.
For me, doing this particular chord, I feel it here in my chest, right? Because I feel it right here in my heart chakra. I also feel it when I think of my own children and things I would not do. This year is double for me because this is the same year that my daughter turns 10. And so does my son. And knowing that they're reaching that same age and what was done to me, I'm struggling and have struggled with that. But I will not let that happen to them. I cannot in my mind imagine doing half the things that were done to me to my kids just because they misbehaved. Yes, I do very well get on to my kids. I am a firm believer in other responsibilities come before electronics, and you need to do A, B, C, D. And they know that I have 3 things I do not play about, and those 3 things are health, safety, and school. Those are my 3. Other than that, we can work through everything else, but no compromises are made when it comes to our health. That includes, even though they don't like it, shots. No compromises are made when it comes to our safety. Seatbelts must be worn. Does not matter. Seatbelts are worn. Helmets are worn when we're going down hills on our bikes. Protect the cranium. The other thing is our school. If we have not done our best in school, if we have not tried, and that is the key word, tried. If we have not tried, or if we have not come and asked for help, we lose at that. We lose our privileges at that. But those are the 3 things they know I don't play about.
Good. So, if we're looking, the cord's been cut. Mm-hmm. And yet, the blue crayon or candle, damn you with your crayon metaphor. The blue candle is affecting change up that cord, even though it's been cut.
Yeah. Breaking the cycle.
You've broken the cycle, but it looks like what you've chosen to do will affect the change in their life even though you're not connected. Well done. Don't blow your candles out. Let them burn themselves out. It's not done until it's done, until the fire goes out by itself. Stay focused on the flames until they're done. Don't put the fire out.
Unless it's an absolute. If this suddenly is engulfing in flames and they're like this high, yeah, because reasons.
That would be a safety hazard.
Yeah, safety hazards.
As long as it's safe, you don't need to put the fire out. You can. If you feel like it's over and your guides are telling you it's done, you can certainly put it out. In my opinion, I let them go as they need to.
Yeah.
And I think there's a sort of beauty to this. A sort of beauty and reverence to the relationship that was. Acknowledging.
But no longer is.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those you sit in it and you go. And it is hard for us in this modern day to sit in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It really is so
But
hard.
watch it. Watch as the things change. Give your guides a chance to tell you what that is. Give your guides a chance to tell you what that looks like. Sit in the stillness and listen quietly. It'll work. It is working. It's already worked. And Jonathan's flame is no longer dedicated to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's out.
Yeah, it's gone.
When the flames go out, we can show you one half of that cord still has its feet in Jonathan's energy, but it's not attached to Jonathan at all.
Mm-mm.
The other end isn't attached to anything. So it looks like it's a one-way cord that's being influenced around the other person now. Actually, it's not on the person itself. You can do divination with the leftovers to kind of get what's happening in a situation. Divination can be done a lot of ways.
So many ways. We're going to let Angie do divination on this because I feel too close to this to even. So that is a me thing.
I don't mean to overstep.
Yep. No.
And you've been really, really vulnerable in this situation and shared it with our audience. That's a big deal, dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Growth hurts. Growth is scary. Growth hurts.
Our resident unicorn is currently struggling with the ascension flu, which is what we say when you get super gripey and super grumpy and damn it, I hate this. The hard part of stepping into your truth and living your truth.
Side note, you will get many, many of those flus.
We call them flus. They're not actual sicknesses. You don't actually get ill.
No, it's more...
You just feel grumpy and gross energy. It's okay. It goes away like the flu.
It's like
about 24 hours, sometimes a little bit longer.
It's like energetic PMS. Don't hit me for that. I meant it in the nicest way.
I get it. I just wouldn't have thought about it like that.
See, I was waiting for the hit because, guys, I was waiting for it. I was like, don't hurt me.
I'm not ever going to hit you.
But that's kind of, it is what it is with that. Mm-hmm. The mood swings, the mood changes, I hate everything, this fucking sucks.
The pain and discomfort in your own body.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great things to awakening. There are a million, billion great things. Mm-hmm. But like everything, there's a balance. Growth can hurt a little bit. It's uncomfortable. It's not always smiles and sunshine and bubbles.
And anyone who tells you otherwise is
a big fat liar.
Their ass. No, they're lying out their ass. Straight up. It's real growth, true growth is messy. In nature, you cannot grow a plant without throwing shit on it. Point blank. You can't. You can't.
Does it have to be actual shit? Mm-hmm. Oh my god, this is my first real cranberry. Oh. It's like super duper tart.
Love her face here.
It's like half lemon.
I love it. Oh, swallow, 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 swallow. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh, Shiloh.
Better her than me because I'm. This is, and boys and girls, this is why I don't flavor the water. I just drink it plain because that's just too much.
Well, it was delicious. They had lemon and cranberry water, fresh lemon and cranberries in the water today. They do flavored water. And I've never actually eaten a cranberry. Like, I've had cranberry in stuff.
Have you had, like, cranberry sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
But not an actual fucking cranberry that looks like a grape.
Well, technically, aren't you supposed to, like, drink cranberries or eat cranberry stuff if you've got, like, UTIs and stuff like that?
How the fuck would I know?
I don't know. Don't you know random shit? Your parents.
I know random shit.
Parents know random shit. Right? We as parents, we know random shit. And it's like
my
shit that's like...
desert kid experience with cranberries is the shit that comes out the can that's perfectly formed and you can count the little lines. My OCD loves making sure I cut directly between the lines and there's an exact number to match the lines in the can. I know. Wild.
Okay.
Whatever.
And this is why I cannot come over and do that because, like, for Thanksgiving, I would be the one that I'd be slightly off because I cannot cut straight to save my life.
Now I'd kill you.
So, yeah.
In that case, really, you could use a string and
she again
because it's jelly.
She again thinks that I will still be able to keep it perfectly straight. Nope. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler. The ruler will be straight and to start straight, but by the time I get to the end of it, the line will still be up.
Okay.
I can't.
I would have to shave it. Like, I'd have to shave. I can literally picture shaving the lines so they're straight. Fuck. I try not to be super OCD, but...
Can you tell what trigger of hers she's going to work on with me?
I don't want to.
Alright, Shiloh.
Right?
I don't want to. Well, you're gonna.
I know.
You're gonna.
I wonder. If you can see, Jonathan's influence has spread. Here's where the circle was. And now it's laying against the other person's candle. This end over here, completely detached from the situation so it doesn't create another cord. The influence, the cord itself is way down here. But you can't see it anymore because it's turned blue within Jonathan's energy, which circles around the other candle and stops right here. Stops just short of having any impact on Jonathan. You can affect change even on your abusers. I'm not one of those people who's into toxic positivity that's like, just love them.
No.
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 You don't have to.
No.
Maybe this shows that by Jonathan detaching, he's changing the way that the energy flows around his family, even the parts that he no longer touches, so that other people who are in the family can benefit from your growth.
Right.
This candle's going to be here forever.
I don't know.
Kind of an asshole candle.
Well, he was kind of an asshole. He still is an asshole.
I don't know the person, so I'm just going to say, yep.
Yeah.
You say he's an asshole, I say he's an asshole. Whatever.
I mean, granted, I'll call myself Dick and I'll, like, call people who drive assholes, but, I mean, there's assholes, like, lowercase a, and then there's assholes with capital A.
We're not going to make you stay and watch this entire candle melt because we're liable to be here for the next 4 hours. Typically, chime candles last about 10 minutes. So if you're trying to plan around it, know that generally 10 minutes, maybe 20, good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Until you get the substandard asshole who has no intention of fucking stopping. Jonathan's already disengaged and the energy in the room feels like this has been completed.
Yeah.
So
in that case,
it's okay to be done.
This is what I shall do.
I like the way that you decided that you make the rules for that connection.
Yeah. And that's what you can do.
I'm a chicken shit. I don't generally blow them out, but I like the determination in that. I control this entire situation.
Exactly.
All right, guys. We have rambled. We have loved you. We have talked about how to cut cords. We've talked about what toxic positivity is, what toxic love is. We're going to see you next week, if not sooner. Next week, I'm teaching Magical Me 1.
Okay. She says she's you're teaching it live?
Oh. Live. Oh. These guys don't get to join us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anticipate that the videos won't make their way to Patreon until at least Tuesday, probably Wednesday. It's going to be a little later in the week.
Yeah, let's say Friday of next Friday. Let's say next Friday, right? To give everybody time because we do all have knuckle things to do, right? But then, so when it shows up on Wednesday, we're all pleasantly surprised. Yay!
I like that.
Pleasantly surprised.
Under promise and over deliver.
Hey!
Secrets to success.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Dude.
Looks like a dick. Or a bird flying.
It kind of does look like a dick, but I can see the bird flying.
Right? You see, so
there's like a straight up bird.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.